First Bank.
Hello, welcome to Business News. I'm Laura Chiogo. Nigerians will have to wait a little longer for uninterrupted electricity supply as infrastructure needed to produce adequate gas for power generation is not yet in place. Now, this is coming from the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Mr. Benjamin Dickey. According to him, the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill will encourage investment in gas supply.
The generation companies generate electricity and supply to the discos. The generating companies don't have gas to generate. So once the gencos don't have gas to generate and the gencos don't have power to give to the discos, then the discos don't have what to distribute. Because the discos currently, none of them generates power. It is the generating companies that generate power. So the issue is not for people to get angry with the distribution company who don't have the power. And they are just trying to manage what the system generates, what is allocated to them, and make sure they rationalize so that every part of the distribution company has some measure of light. So I want people to understand that the discos are not to blame. It is the power they receive that they distribute. And the gencos also are constrained by lack of gas supply. And I want to inform you that some of the NIPP plants that have been concluded cannot be fired. The construction has been completed. Cannot be fired because there's no gas supply. So that is the major challenge. If today we have sufficient gas to fire 6,000 megawatts, Nigerians will see the fundamental difference between when these companies were not privatized and now.
Director General of BPE, Mr. Benjamin Dickey there. Today's trading session at the Nigerian equities market remained bearish as market index slumped by 0.06%. Temple Ashaju brings details of figures.
It's time for us to take a look at the market performance for today. Welcome on board. Now, profit-taking continued at the Nigerian equities market for a second trading day as sell-offs in the oil and gas sector persisted while market breadth closed positive. The NSE All-Share Index slipped 0.06% to finish the day's session at 42,891.82 with a market capitalization of 14.16 trillion naira. Oil companies Corn Oil and Wando PLC shared 3 naira 28 kobo and 65 kobo respectively to lead the losers list. Construction firm Julius Berger is also on that list. The equity shared 2 naira from its share price. Now, on the other hand, another oil firm, Mobil, was top price gainer for the day with 7 naira 72 kobo added to its share price, and it's trailed by 33 other equities. The 3 most actively traded stocks from the day are Fidelity Bank, Transcorp, and FCMB. And when the closing bell rang, 374.30 million shares had been exchanged in 4,778 deals for a value of 3.20 billion naira. And that's it on the stock market report. I am Temple Ashaju.
Let's take a look globally. It wasn't a good outing for major stock trades in Africa as they all closed in the reds. Let's take a look at the figures from Asia, America, Europe, and Africa.
First Bank.
The neglect of maternal mental health challenges and widespread stigma of mental health illness, especially in low and middle-income countries, have been identified as some of the issues in the overall health of people living with these conditions. Nigerian physicians based in the Americas who highlighted these factors have specific recommendations on how to address depression, mood disorders, and other maternal mental health issues. Our correspondent, Yomi Otaigbe, who is covering the annual meeting of these physicians in Southern California, United States of America, now reports.
As this marks the 20th anniversary of the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas. Although thousands of miles away from home, these doctors are looking at global health issues, linking them to the Nigerian situation. Here, maternal mental health disorders are on the front burner.
If you look at the data that is available, there seems no doubt that there is a higher prevalence of maternal mental health disorders in low and medium income economies compared to high income economies. So, for example, in the UK, most of Europe, and perhaps the States, you're talking of about an incidence of about 10%. The few data that's available from Africa suggests that it's as high as 20% or 30%.
There are a lot of different factors that are associated. Biological factors are one of the main ones, and even though genetics has been touted as polygenic, so it's not a direct progression. So if your mother had a mental disease, you may not necessarily have a mental disease.
Poverty is a major cause of depression. Poverty is a major cause of many psychiatric illnesses. The issue of stigma and discrimination is a difficult problem to crack, but these two issues have to be faced.
Nigeria's Minister of Health is a special guest, and he acknowledged that mental health is not being promoted as much as it should in Nigeria.
When those in mental health have been talking since we have been here, I could reason that yes, we need to make noise. The gynecologists made so much noise, that's why everybody's talking about maternal care. We need to make the same kind of noise, even in surgery, even in anesthesia, even in mental health.
For the speakers, Nigeria can borrow from these recommendations.
One of the key interventions obviously has to be community-based. There is the need for good quality research that actually describes what the problems are. There is a need for efficient organization of services that actually promote maternal psychological health.
So many people are being left behind, and the mental consequences are unimaginable. The bigger countries like in the US and Britain have put a lot more into mental health care. So we decided that we needed to bring some focus to mental health, especially in Nigeria.
So much on mental health issues. Discussions will continue tomorrow, and this time the focus will be on healthcare partnerships in Nigeria. From the 2014 annual meeting of the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, holding in Anaheim, California. Yomi Otaigbe reporting for Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, World Football Governing Body, FIFA, lifts suspension on Nigeria. That's on Sports News. Please stay with us.